Hi, I'm Tamara and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, I'm going to talk to the ISTJs because I have a question for them. What is your purpose in life? Have you found it? Is there anything that's in your way? Or what are some things that you have to watch out for in order to reach your purpose in life? There's one thing that comes to mind when I think of an ISTJ, and that is work. Work is the central theme and focus of an ISTJ. It is what comes first, and those letters just pair together very well to have highly productive, hard-working people. You may not know what your purpose is, ISTJs. That might still be a struggle for you, or it might not be a struggle at all. Or it could be that you do know what your purpose is, but you're not able to fulfill it because you're being so loyal to an organization or a job that is not being very good to you, or that you feel very conflicted with, but you're hanging in there because ISTJs are very stable, sturdy people. To make a change is very difficult for them, even when things are not going the way that they want them to be. So I would say one purpose or one goal of an ISTJ would be to be a hard worker, to be the best worker they can possibly be. They get a lot of joy and satisfaction from being able to put a lot of effort into their job and reap the benefits of it and get the positive accolades and see a company move forward because of their attributes. What's difficult for an ISTJ that can keep them from their purpose is if there are too many people who are not cooperative in a workplace, if there's too much chaos, if you feel overloaded by your job without much cooperation from other people, then that can be draining, and it can make it impossible for you to do other things, or make it very difficult for you to explore other things that you're interested in. It's kind of like when you're in something, whether it's a relationship or it's a job, you're sort of all in. You may even stay in a relationship longer than you should, much longer than you should, because of your ability to be stable, to be sturdy, to stick with things. It's just your nature to do that, even when the relationship has gone bad, even when that person is not committing to you fully like you deserve to be committed to, or they've pulled away from you, or whatever they're doing. You deserve happiness, you deserve the best. You just have a tendency to stay in things sometimes too long when you're not benefiting from the fruits of your labor, and that can be a problem. You may also want to evaluate that with a counselor or somebody who's a professional who can kind of help you break free of that bondage that you tend to get into because you have such high work ethic. And that will be a challenge for you as well, because making steps towards your happiness or feeling better might be a challenge for you as well, because you're very job focused and job centered. So I would encourage you to get with somebody who can help you to process some things in a different way. Don't take that as a sign of weakness. You just have to get out of your box. So let's talk about how an ISTJ can kind of box themselves in to certain situations, because when they're in a work situation, for example, and I'm going to use work because they are so driven by it. Sometimes with work, they can get very carried away by it. They can become compulsive, driven by deadlines, and they may disregard how other people are motivated, or what their work satisfaction may be, or even the other people's well-being or their own well-being, because they want efficiency. So they're always striving for that. An ISTJ teacher may make her student rewrite a paper 10 times to get it right. So sometimes the environment around them might be stressful, hostile. There might be people who kind of take off work because the environment is very rigid. So this type can really get out of control, and they can become very compulsive in what they're doing and forget about fun or forget about taking it a little easy. And if they are in an environment that is very chaotic and crazy and all of that, it just makes them drive themselves harder instead of changing their tactics. So you might want to change your tactics if you are not getting the fruits of your labor at all because everybody else is so different from you. Then you might have to change your strategy, which is difficult for an ISTJ to do. You might need to step back a little bit and let some other people handle some things, or let them fall a little bit, because they probably are so used to you catching all of the whatever, for them, that they become dependent on you, and sometimes unfairly so. I've worked in SJ environments and they are highly functioning and well-oiled. So I think an ISTJ would do better if they were in an environment with like-minded people, so that they can focus on what is their purpose, whether it's in the workplace or outside the workplace. They can drive other people to the brink, and they can drive themselves past their breaking point, because they can be very controlling and they can start to feel like, if this is going to be done right, I have to do it myself. Just get out of my way. So they can have some long, lonely times where it's just them by themselves trying to get something done that's really something that needs to be a team effort or needs other players. They also tend to have a stronger need than most people for privacy. They need some quiet time. They don't need a lot of time to express themselves, although there have been ISTJs that I have enjoyed having great conversations with, and as long as they're not high pressured, or they have some room to work as hard as they want to without constant barriers and bricks in the way, then you can see a bit of a lighter side, a little happier side. But they need the space to be hard workers, because that's what they do. And they can be pretty intense and one-sided when it comes to, but this is the way we need it done. They don't really have a lot of need for a bunch of fluff. They're very driven, and they're going to put a lot of hard work into those creative outlets. If they have the space, they can showcase the job very well and in a very creative manner. It's kind of a conflict of being sort of this lonely island needing to work alone, but then you need a team, but the team is terrible and lazy. Oh, that is like an ISTJ's nightmare. And so if you are having trouble focusing on your purpose in life, or you're just not enjoying life, it could be because you are in the wrong work setting, and you need to find some energy, which, if they're having to put that much energy into a workplace, they're not going to have very much freed up for the space and the time to find something new to do that they can be passionate about. They may give off the impression of being cold. They might give the impression of being disapproving even when they're not. They just want high results. Some ISTJs will smile and appear to be a little bit warmer, and they might be seething inside. They may become very defensive and frustrated because maybe people are misreading them. They can have serious demeanor at times. They might not relish giving people praise on things that you should just do. But then some people are motivated by some praise, by some positive feedback. So you might have to do a little bit more of that than what you feel comfortable with. There might be some times where you have to compromise a little bit and take a step back and say, okay, let's take a moment, let's have a little fun. If the ISTJ is super straight-laced, then their workplace might be very plain or very conservative. And there might be people around who feel like it makes the workplace not so fun when everything 24 hours a day are serious and focused, and we don't even have a moment to spare. While I think an ISTJ is very capable of being very creative, they may not need that for the workplace because they're very meat and potatoes. One of the worst situations ever for an ISTJ is to be in a workplace that is just not productive. It's just not conducive to their health. It's just not a good thing. So they really need to somehow find the energy to, in order for them to find purpose in life, they kind of have to do the opposite of what they're feeling. So ISTJs, if you're feeling like you're not getting your needs met or your purpose is not being met, you're gonna have to force yourself to explore some other things, whether it's getting out some artwork or taking some kind of a fun class, something that you can enjoy and change the channel so that you can tap into what it is that you really need and what you want, and not be waiting for other people to give that to you, because most people don't have the capacity to work at the level and with the seriousness that you do. And so you're always probably going to be slightly disappointed in your work environment, or slightly disappointed with the people not coming to the level that you are, or getting in your way because their personality is clashing with how you want to do things. You're gonna be a ball of frustration all the time. So you kind of have to give people a bit of a break. You might just be in the wrong setting, and that's okay. It's okay to explore. Sometimes they don't want to make changes because they feel like it's going to be the same old awful thing. Well, not necessarily, and sometimes in life we have to take that risk. If you're in a bad relationship where the person is either not committing to you, or they're just not interacting with you, or they're just so shut down, or there's just a lot of issues or a lot of chaos, and you just not thriving in that relationship, I think an ISTJ would have the tendency, because they're so steady, so stable, to just be there, to just be unconditional, to just wait and hope that the person changes, because they're not going to be totally pushy in that way. They can kind of appear to be easygoing and laid back and calm when they kind of really aren't. They're going to be frustrated in a relationship that's going nowhere, but they may not have the strength or the motivation or the know-how to either A, get out of that situation, or change your direction. So in order to get your true purpose in life, you're gonna have to make yourself do what you don't feel like doing. And that is change directions. Find something creative. Find something you enjoy. And enjoying can be a solitary activity. It could be painting. Whatever it is, you can't just sit and wait for other people to start changing around you because you have a need for control. They are probably not. So you kind of have to learn to exercise that adaptable, flexible side, develop that a little bit more, and really put some time into you. Not just the job. Unless it's a job that you are loving, that you're thriving in, that's making you happy, then hey, you probably feel very fulfilled, and that's awesome and amazing. But if you don't have your purpose, you're gonna have to force yourself to get out of that rut, and that's gonna be doing some things that you don't feel like doing. They can just sort of not totally throw up their hands, but they can kind of be hoping while throwing up their hands, giving up, but that's not fair to you. So I hope this video is the start of you finding your purpose. If you have lost it, even if your purpose is simply having a job that you really enjoy, start working on that. You might want to pair up with someone who has a more spontaneous mind, who can give you some new ideas to try. So I hope this helps someone out there, and I hope it taught you a little bit more about ISTJs. Thank you for watching my video. Please give me a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye!